Hey guys, welcome back. My name's Aaron. This is Czar Finance, episode 10, How to Buy a Car. On today's episode, I'm going to talk to you guys on some general guidelines when purchasing a new vehicle for the first time. When considering to buy a new vehicle, some of the things to think about is to not get car fever. Fever becomes when you see a new ad, or maybe your neighbor next door to you happens to buy a new vehicle and you see it and you get all excited and you want to go to the dealership and go purchase a vehicle like their vehicle or newer just to impress the Joneses. My suggestion to you is to not ever do that, because what you're going to do is if you did buy a new vehicle, you're going to roll off the lot and it's going to drop in value about 60%, and you're going to lose a lot of your value of the car, and you're going to have the excitement for the first time to buy the vehicle, but then when you have the chance and it settles down, you're going to feel guilty about it, and I suggest you not to do that. I suggest that you buy used. Used between 2 to 3 or longer years in age. Just because you're buying a used does not mean it's not a bad car. Sometimes used cars actually are broken in. They have had some, all the kinks worked out, the warranties, not the warranties, but the recalls or things like that have been done to them. The maintenance has been done. It's got some highway miles. Things have been worked out. So the kinks, I guess you should say, have been worked out on a used vehicle. So that's one of my benefits. My suggestions to you is to buy a used vehicle. Things to consider when buying another vehicle is to think about incentives. Okay, usually dealerships sometimes offer incentives on buying a new vehicle for the first time. Sometimes if you're buying, say, a Subaru or a Volkswagen or a Honda, for example, if you write to the company who manufactures those, they can offer a rebate on purchasing that vehicle. Usually it's $1,000 to $6,000, and that's free money that you can apply towards your purchase of your new vehicle, which is fantastic. So my suggestion is to look into those little rebates and little deals that might be able to be applied to your purchase when buying a new vehicle. The next thing I would like to suggest to you guys is to negotiate what you can get for your vehicle. When you're buying a new car, you're going to have to come prepared to the dealership and ask them questions about the vehicle. What is its history? How many people have owned the vehicle? Has this vehicle ever been in an accident? Has this vehicle ever been in salt water? Has there ever been any damage to it? Those type of things. You need to come prepared with questions and be willing to ask those questions to the dealership and find out everything you can about that vehicle for the first time. Ask them if there's a Carfax report for it. Ask them if there's any information or a car report on that vehicle. If there is no car report for it, you can go online and go to like truecar.com, I think it is, and you can go to Edmunds, Car Direct, Kelly Blue Book is another common one that you can get some information on that vehicle to find out, the history of that car. So my suggestion is get prepared before you go buy. Ask questions, gather all the information you can, find out the usage of the vehicle, mileage, things like that before going out and buying that. Now, when getting ready to buy for a car, you want to make sure that you pay for it in cash. Cash is king. Cash will oftentimes get you a better discount, believe it or not. If you pay for it in cash, you're going to walk out with a better rate. You're going to have ownership of the vehicle and a sense of pride for paying off the vehicle and not having to owe the dealership money to pay for that vehicle. It's a very, very cool way of doing things, and when you pay for cash, it eases the mind so much. Now, when you buy the vehicle in cash, my suggestion to you is to pretend that you continue to save the $400, for example, as if you were making a payment a month for about 10 months. So, for example, you pay for a car that was $2,000, okay? You save $400 a month for 10 months. That's an extra $4,000 that you have saved up in your bank account, okay? Now, when it comes time to buying your next new vehicle, what you can do is sell the vehicle back to them, and you might not get $2,000 for it. You might get $1,000 for it, but now instead of buying the next vehicle with $2,000, you now have equity of $5,000, and you can take $5,000 and buy a $5,000 car. Now you take that $5,000 car that you paid for in cash, save up another 10 months, and save $400 for another 10 months. That's another $4,000. Now go back to the dealership, trade in the car. Now you might, instead of getting $1,000 back for that car, you're going to get maybe $2,250 or $3,000, and then apply it, and then it goes like that. And before you know it, you're going to end up having a free car for life, and basically paid for in cash, and a vehicle that you can afford. And by then, you'll be driving whatever you want to drive in a matter of like 4 or 5 years. You can literally buy any vehicle you want to drive. So that's my advice to you guys, and to pay for a vehicle in cash and walk away and feel pride with it. speaking about walking away, you want to make sure you are able to walk away from the vehicle or the deal that might be present to you. The dealer might say, hey, I got this, it's got all these features, it's got all this, this, and this, and that. And you got to say, you know what? I got to walk away. I can't do this deal right now. I got to sleep on it. Let me think about it. Always go home and clear your mind, and then come back the next day if you decide to really want to go buy that vehicle. It will give you peace of mind, and it'll really say, hey, look, do I need this vehicle, or am I being hustled to get this vehicle? Think about it. Give your mind time to rest and be ready to walk away from the deal, even if it's got all the bells and whistles you want. Think about it before you buy it. Don't do an impulse buy. Now, think about features and gadgets that you might want to have. So some features that people like to have is, extra car shine, extended warranties for mileage, for bonus things, chrome rims, low pro tires, all sorts of little things that they're going to try to sweeten the deal with you guys in. So those are some things to think about. Now, when to buy a vehicle, I think I told you guys this before, but if you're not sure when to buy a vehicle, my advice to you is usually to buy a vehicle in the month of December, towards the end of the year, when they're trying to do all their doorbuster sales and get them out of the way for the year, and/or between January and August of the summertime, July through August. No, July through October, that's when it is. July through October is when the most sales are going on for cars, because they're doing the crop rotation of their vehicles and changing the fleet of their vehicles on the lot. So December and July through October is the best time to buy a vehicle. And these are some of the tips that I'd like to suggest with you when buying your first vehicle. Remember, pay with cash. Where attention flows, money goes. And my name is Aaron. This is Czar Finance. On next week's episode, we're going to talk about how to apply car insurance to the vehicle that you just purchased. Take care.